This is the Lichtman Live Post Show, the greatest post show that's ever existed on the face of planet Earth. Thank you all for being here. Hello, Michael Nightwolf. Abe, we are live. President Colidi is here. Nice to have you here, Colidi. Susie Garcia. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yeah. Kevin Belmont Luna, we are live. Suzanne AP from Asbury Park, New Jersey, I think, if I remember correctly. Prime Minister Bette Midler, who has the best username in the chat. Hello, Karen Strickler. Dennis, nice to see you. See, I remembered, Susie. RM Bells. Sam, does your dad just write books for fun? To a certain extent. I mean, he's a professor, so as an academic, you're expected to produce a certain amount of like academic literature or material. I think he also sees it as like part of his legacy and part of his sort of, purpose. Hello, Mandalus. My 2-hour commute home turned into a 4-hour commute today. Post show is a great way to wind down. Sorry to hear that, Abe. I'm glad you can wind down with us. Teresa from Texas. Howdy now, Teresa from Texas. Vonda says, I think he feels it's his duty to inform us. He's a great man. I love your dad, Sam. I love my dad, too. Yeah, I think that's part of it, He spent a lot of time and energy studying and learning and becoming an expert in a lot of fields. Not in a lot of fields, but in his field on a lot of topics. So why not spread that to the people? Sam, I do not understand why you do not seek some higher LOC lock education during downtime. You are smart but lack motivation when you have the availability. Wow, Kathy is calling me out. I have a master's degree, so I've already sought out higher education. Part of the reason is money. It's really expensive. Time and energy. It takes a lot of time and energy to do that, and I tried to go to law school, and I was like, the other thing that schooling does, it kind of delays your life a little bit, and I'm kind of, I didn't foresee my job falling out from under me, but I want to continue my career. I'm not sure if more higher education would be good for me. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're right. Lack motivation. Damn, that's a call out, huh? They're calling me a slacker. I guess so. I mean, geez. What kind of law? I don't know. I only went for a week and then I dropped out. A PhD? I don't know, maybe. I mean, here's the thing. So I thought after film grad school, I was like, all right, maybe I should, do something in higher education that's a little bit more stable, like law school, right? So I was like, all right, let me go to law school. And I took the LSAT and I applied to law school and I got in. But the issue was that whole process took so long that in the meantime, I got a job that I liked at the FAA. And by the time law school came around, I was like, well, I have this job that I really like. I don't really want to leave it. I enjoy having an income. Again, higher education is really expensive and it takes a lot of time and energy. So it's not easy to make money while you're getting higher education. So I was like, all right, I'll go to law school part-time and then do my job 9 to 5. So I started law school, and my first week worked 9 to 5 and then was in classes from 6 to 10. And I just was like, this is going to burn me out. I can already feel it. And, it's going to be expensive as hell. And it was, it just came down to time, money, energy. And I was like, I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm making good money. In hindsight, now I don't have that job. So was it a fair trade-off in the end? I don't know. But I think it's easy to say, just go back to school. It's like there's a lot to consider when going back to school. And also for me, it's like I had basically been in education for 26 straight years. Not 26 straight years, but from kindergarten to the end of my MFA program, right? So it's like I'm back in school and I'm dealing with having to, just be in that school environment of like competitiveness and tons of work on the side, hundreds of pages of reading, essays, all this stuff. And I'm just kind of like, I want to go live my life, man. I'm not trying to get back, I'm not trying to get burned out by all this crap. So there's a lot to consider when considering higher education. Secular Monk says, Sam, I know what you mean about the job/school conflict. I taught my first year of grad school while I was teaching full-time, burned me out. Exactly. What is, I don't know. It might have been a typo. I don't know what they meant by LOC or lock. I'm not sure. Sam is like, I've already lived with a college professor forever. I practically lived college. The other thing too is like, I love learning and I love education, but like, I feel like I can learn a lot on my own and become informed a lot on my own. And like a lot of higher education involves a lot of what I think of as busy work and like meeting deadlines and meeting, this professor's assignment and that professor's assignment. And it's like, you can learn and grow on your own and in your own time and in your own way. And at the end of the day, they're really selling you a piece of paper, which definitely has a lot of weight to it. But if your goal is to learn and to grow, you don't need to do that through. And I'm not saying don't go to college, but I'm just saying like higher education, master's programs, PhD programs. I'm not saying don't do that either. But it was like, oh, I'm going to do back-to-back higher education. I'm going to try to grow and learn on my own. Sam, what's your bliss? What do you really love doing? I don't know. That's a good question. That's sort of what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I love film, but I don't know if I love the act of making films. It's kind of stressful and hard. Backpack around the world, 1 year sabbatical courtesy of severance pay. Well, severance pay ends in 28 days, so I did not get a full year of severance pay. I don't think anybody did. The piece of paper grad schools are only worth it if it betters your career goals. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think it can be worth it beyond that. But I guess my point is like, that piece of paper doesn't have to be the end all be all of how you learn and grow and become a smarter person. I enjoy basket weaving. I don't think I've ever basket weaved. Joan says, I understand. I'm 81 years old and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Yeah. Prime Minister Bette Miller says, damn, speaking truth to what I'm going through right now, trying to choose between a master's and cabinet making. Cabinet making, like a carpenter? Do you think you would have really liked law? Seem more creative. I think I'm sort of a dual I have two sides of me. I think part of me is creative and part of me does like law. I really have no idea. I really don't have any idea. It's hard to, especially law is hard to figure out because so many people, like, you know, especially like, I have so many friends who are lawyers and they seem to hate their lives, you know? So it's like, when you hear them talk about it, you're like, holy crap, that sounds miserable. But on paper, law does interest me to a degree. Sam, will you be a jack of all trades and a master of none? That sort of feels like the path I'm on now. I sort of do a lot of things really well, but I'm not, you know, I'm not a master of any. Do you qualify for unemployment following severance pay? I don't know. That's a good question. Do you make music or play an instrument? There was a time in my life where I was a full-on music producer. You can look me up, Disco Sam on Spotify. I play a little guitar and a little bass and a little drums, but nothing major. Being a lawyer isn't LA law, it's wills and trusts and boring crap. That's the sense I get from a lot of my friends who are lawyers, is like the day-to-day of being a lawyer is pretty soul-crushing. You know, everybody wants to be, you know, the lawyer who works for, you know, the best nonprofits and all the judges. But like those jobs are so competitive and so hard to get. Like 98% of lawyers, you know, don't live obviously the lives you see on TV, but aren't even getting these jobs, you know, that are so coveted. And a lot of these kids who come out of law school now just take jobs at big firms just because they pay a lot and they help pay student debt. That's another thing, is like law school is incredibly expensive. And there's not a ton of financial aid. I mean, there is, but not a ton. Oh, Bette Midler really meant making cabinets and other small woodworking furniture. So you're deciding between like a craft and higher education. Those things are very polar opposites. And here's the thing. I feel like, you know, for me and my time in my life, my decision to not go through with law school was very clear, because it just, at my time in my life, and at that time in my life, given the context of me as an individual in that moment, I was like, this is not going to work. So it's hard to give general advice on this kind of stuff, because it's really context dependent. It's like, what are you going through in your life right now? What are the factors that are determining X, Y, and Z? And it's kind of hard to give general advice on it. Beth says, I never regret my education, but was so damn happy to finish my master's, and know I was finished. Yeah, I sort of had the same. So I got an MFA in film and media and communications, right? So it's like, yeah, when I was done with that, I was ready to be done. And you do get this sense of like, yeah, you don't regret it, but it's kind of like, yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's just, you're just ready to be done, and you're just glad to be finished a lot of the time. James says, I'm a teacher and feel teaching is the only thing I'm able to do. Well, I guess, and that's good to have that clarity, you know. I look like a DJ. What does a DJ look like exactly? What did you make films on? Well, I can show you. I actually have a channel that has an archive of my 2 short films. What's it called again? Oh yeah, I'll put it in the chat. See, the issue for me with filmmaking is I really do love filmmaking and films, and like I do have this drive to do it, but the process itself sort of isn't enjoyable. I don't know if anybody else has tried to make films out there, but it's like, it's expensive. It takes a lot of human power to do it. It's it's grinding, it's stressful. So like, I love making films, but I don't like the process of making them, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. That seems sort of like you like making films, but you don't like the process. Like, I love creating a film. I love making a piece of art that is a film, but I don't like all the meat and sausage that goes into it. I don't know. Then you really don't like it. Interesting. So no more school for you? I mean, never say never, right? I don't, that's not in my immediate plans. But you're so good at making films. Well, thank you. That's nice of you to say. I think another part of it is just like self-doubt. And like when I watch my films, sometimes I'm like, wow, these suck, I have not seen the studio on Apple TV. Hey, Sam, is there a way to make shorts on major questions from the chat? I've been wondering because you always skip questions that have answered that are hard to find. We would need a pretty good video editor that could, that takes a lot of time to clip out all those and make those into shorts. And we're not, we're not robust on money right now on the channel. Let's just say that. You don't like the journey, you only like the end results. That's kind of how it feels. The journey is sort of torturous, but like the creation of it is sort of, that gets me going. Hello, Blaze. Don't doubt yourself, Sam. Okay, I won't. Yes, I have editing skills. You only like the beginning of things, Madman line. It's not, no, I don't even like the beginning. The beginning is also hard because the beginning is like I don't know. The beginning of a film is writing, and writing can be torturous too. And talk about self-doubt. Like when you're writing, you're like, this is bad. This is garbage. Are you making films now? I haven't made a film since, if you go to that channel, since Astray, which I believe I finished in 2018. So I haven't made a film in 7 years. Pylaran says, I think you're really talented. Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say. It's not really the journey that you don't like. It's the process, as you said, the grind. Yeah. And like the issue is like most art. Here's the thing. The reason why I got into music producing for a while is because I could sit on my laptop and make something. And like that was so refreshing to me. I did that like right after grad school because I felt so burned out from the filmmaking process that I was like, I need to do something creative, but I cannot handle the baggage that comes along with making a film. And it feels like a lot of art, you're like a painter or a poet or a music producer. It's like, all you need is you and a piece of paper or you and some paint. But like to make a film, you need you plus a crew of 20 people, plus locations, plus equipment, plus actors, plus money. And then you need to feed all these people. It just becomes like, is this creative or is this like, you know what I mean? I mean, maybe you don't know what I mean, but like, that's where I get most frustrated with filmmaking. It's like, I love creating art of film. And to me, I've tried to pivot to other creative outlets like painting or like music producing, but it doesn't, get me going like creating a film does. But those things are so accessible. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Like making a film is so inaccessible, especially in this day and age. Like I had a friend in Los Angeles, right, who was going for, I think, his first feature, and he had everything lined up. He even had like, you know, a semi-famous actor to lead the role, like all the stuff that you need to do, and his funding fell through at the last minute and the film was gone. You know? That's the shit that drives me crazy. It's like, I need all this money from this funder to create this thing, and if something goes wrong with that, it's gone. Poof. A movie about a guy that lost his job at the FAA. Good one. Maybe that's why so many films are formulaic. That's exactly why. It's like the process itself is an industry. Exactly. It's a combination of creativity and hell in terms of everything that's required in filmmaking. I wouldn't go as far as hell, but do AI films? Okay. I don't think the technology is quite there yet, but maybe one day it will be. Film is a collaborative medium. It is infectious because it's hard to do. And I like the collaborative medium that film is. I do like that, and I do enjoy that. But making a film goes beyond just collaboration. It goes to money and logistics and just stuff that becomes way beyond a creative medium, even a creative collaborative medium. Maybe you're more of a host. Maybe. So be a director, let everyone else do the BS. That's great in theory, Philip, but that, especially coming up as a director, that's not how it works. You have to make it happen on your own. All those two films that I did, even in conjunction with the schools I was at the time, you know, obviously this is a bad stereotype, but you have to pull yourself like from your bootstraps. You can't just wake up one day, be a director, and have a whole team working for you. You know, that's the dream, obviously, one day, but it's like you have to put in a ton of work before you get to that point. Do you ever think about becoming a film critic? I've thought about that many times, but I don't like being a film critic. It doesn't get my juices flowing. I usually just feel like a cranky mother effer when I do film critic stuff. Now, film history stuff is different. I do feel a little bit of a draw towards film history or film theory, which is something I've thought about a lot. The issue with that is sometimes it feels like I tried to write a film theory book once, and it felt like, who the hell is going to read or care about this? You know, it's like even my dad's book, which are much more, I would say, not relevant, but like earth-moving, important. It's hard to get people to even read these, you know? Tashjid says, funding is always a problem. Watch the studio. Right. And it's only going to become more and more of a problem because the entire film industry is in not only disarray, but in a moment of a shift that the industry will never, ever be the same ever again. There are so few women directors. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a big issue within filmmaking for a long time, is that, I mean, especially, you know, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, like it was all dudes directing films. It's obviously gotten better, but film takes a ton of time, effort, and luck. No doubt. What Philip said in your answer were exactly my train of... I don't know what you're saying exactly. What about the Native American one you did much more recently? That is true. I guess when I'm talking about films, I'm talking about like narrative films. And that Native American one, well, I did put a lot of work into it. It was the vision and the direction of another person. So I was more of a supporting role in that. Are any of your dad's books in Spanish? I don't have any idea. Oh, thank you, RM, for the donation. Sam, I saw The Shining and Jaws on the big screen this week, and I wanted to know if you had any thoughts on either. I do have thoughts on both. The Shining, I like a lot, and I think overall Stanley Kubrick is a genius director. I don't love The Shining. I'm not the biggest horror fan, but as horror goes, it's definitely one of the better horror films that I've ever seen. And Jack Nicholson's performance in it is incredible. On paper, it's a great film. For me, it doesn't do a ton for me. Jaws I love, and Jaws does do a lot for me. And I also think it also does a lot on paper too. It's well written. It's sort of like that perfect monster movie, you know? It's not as critically sort of, doesn't follow the sort of recipe to make a critically acclaimed film, but it still is critically, like, everybody loves it still. So I very much like Jaws. Would you be the writer, director, star, editor if you made a movie? Hopefully not. I've sort of come to the conclusion that for my directing stuff, I don't really want. I am interested in acting, but for me, behind the camera, I want to stay. Like, for my directing stuff, I want to stay behind the camera. It's hard for me to direct and act at the same time. I've tried it a few times, and I don't think it works very well. For all my films, I have been writer, director, editor. I would love if I could just be director, but again, that's very hard to do, especially when you're coming up. Most of the time, you have to both write and direct it, and I have more friends in the industry now, so I probably could hit up somebody to be an editor, but I'd still probably have to pay them, which is, again, more dinero. I really only know of the Barbie movie having a successful female director. That's Greta Gerwig, who I like a lot. There are definitely more on the scene now. There's Andrea Arnold, who is a British director who I really like. Lynn Ramsey, also another British female director that I really like. Anna DuVernay, who did Selma. Who's the woman who did Wonder Woman? I'm blanking on her name right now, but she's also a big female director. But there's no doubt that there needs to be a more representation from female directors for sure. The Shining isn't Kubrick's best. For that, I would go Clockwork Orange, 2001, or Paths of Glory. Yeah, certainly for me, I agree. Shining is not probably even top 5 for me of his films. Oh, Sofia Coppola, Catherine Bigelow, Jane Campion. That is true. Also 3 very big. Patty Jenkins, that's the woman who did Wonder Woman. Yes, Sofia Coppola, Catherine Bigelow, Jane Campion. Also 3 big female directors that I forgot to mention. Didn't another Coppola woman just hit the scene? Like Francis, one of his granddaughters, just hit the scene. She just had a new movie. Let me see. Coppola directors. There's now. I thought there was a new woman Coppola directing stuff. Is it August Coppola? No, that's a dude. Anyways, I can't think of anything. Olivia Wilde, that's true. Why can't I find this? Who this is? Did you see the clip of the Wizard of Oz in the Vegas sphere? I think I did. Oh, Gia Coppola. She last year she directed The Last Showgirl with Pamela Anderson. Gia Coppola is the daughter of. She's the granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola, and the daughter of Giancarlo Coppola, who was one of his sons. Wow, who I'm reading his Wikipedia page, was killed in a speedboating incident on Memorial Day at age 22 in Annapolis, Maryland. That's pretty sad. Nepo. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Nicolas Cage is a Coppola. I did know that. What is he like the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola? I think so. He's the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. Put some respect on his name. I didn't put any disrespect on Nick Cage's name. Have I seen Jaws on the big screen? I haven't. Philip H says, I'll put disrespect on Nick Cage's name. I don't know if you should do that, Philip. I have in 2 leagues, I've done both my fantasy football drafts. Francis Ford Coppola has a new movie in 2024, Megapolis. I am aware of that. Apparently it's terrible, from what I've heard. If you would direct a motion picture, what genre would you choose to direct? I don't really have a genre specific. outlook, I guess. I don't know. I'd be open to anything. Your football team winning Sunday? That's a good question. I don't even know who we're playing. Oh, we're playing the Bills. Oh, shit. That's a big game. Ravens, Bills. Beth says, I saw Jaws on the big screen the year it was released. Shout out to you, Beth. If you ever go to Universal Studios Hollywood, they have on the studio tour, they have a little Jaws animation exhibit, which is fun. There are wildfires 100 miles east of San Francisco. Is that true? Already wild? I guess this is typical. Even though the LA fires last year were in January, the typical fire season is like now, right? Or maybe October. Susie K. Is Susie K here? I haven't seen her. So according to this graph, oh, you guys can't see that. The fire season is worse, yeah, like now, September to August. I mean, not August, September to October. And weirdly, usually very green in January, but last January was horrific. This may change with climate change, this sort of outlook, because it's now raining a lot in like end of January, February, March, April, and then staying like dry for a year. So it might actually, January and February might be bad months, or December, January, but we'll see. I don't know. I thought summer would be the worst. It's not great, but the thing I think about this is like, so it does rain a bit in like December, January in California, especially Southern California. And then it takes a while for all the vegetation to dry out. So that's why like by the end of the summer, it's totally dried out and it can catch fire really easily. And it also has to do a lot with the Santa Ana winds, which I guess are more fall-based winds. I did hear that news about Giuliani. Will Trump turn on the water again? Who the hell knows what he's going to do? February used to be the rainy season in California. It still is. Usually it starts in December, and I think the reason why those fires last year were so bad too is because it took so long for the rainy season to start again. So like usually like December, like I remember when I moved to California, when I moved in November, and then that December of 2023, it was raining a ton, and through January, February. But then in 2024, like it hadn't rained since like April. So like April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It was like 10 months without rain. And then the bad fires hit. Have I ever lived in a red state? I don't believe so. I've lived in Maryland. Well, I've lived in Virginia. Does Virginia count? I've lived in Virginia. I lived in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, which is kind of a purple state, and now maybe even blue. D.C., Maryland, Virginia. I've lived in New York, Massachusetts, and California. I almost need a haircut again. I know. It's growing fast. So I've lived in a purple state, but I don't think I've lived in a red state. You don't like North Carolina, Beth? Okay, real question. Who is the best looking male movie star and female movie star ever? That's ever? That's a hard question to answer. In red states, people say the toilet water goes counterclockwise. That's funny. All right, Everett says Virginia's blue. Okay. Ten out of 10 don't recommend what? North Carolina? Oh, that's it. Origins and Top 10. It's Alain Dion. He is the best looking male actor ever. That is actually the correct answer. Greta Garbo? Who's that? Nah. Natalie Portman and Chris Hemsworth? Nah. I mean, the male one is done. It's Alain Dion, if you've never seen him before. He's also, like, in so many good... Like, he's one of my favorite actors, just, like, ever. Look at this motherfucker. I mean, if that's not handsome, I don't know what is. Yeah, I think he recently died. Grace Kelly? Maybe Grace Kelly. Yeah, Grace Kelly is up there for sure. Yeah, she's up there. Tom Cruise? No. Raquel Welch? Yeah, she's up there too. Yeah. Honestly, I think Margot Robbie is up there too. I know she's more recent, but like, I mean, she's pretty stunning. Marilyn Monroe is up there too. Scott Eastwood. Oops. This is Clint Eastwood's son. Yeah, I don't know. He's alright. It's kind of hard for me to judge dudes. Like, oh my God. Oh, you can't see me. Oh, what am I doing? He's alright. I don't know. It's hard. I mean, he looks handsome in that one. Kiko. Selma Hayek. Yeah, that's a good one. What's he doing? Hi, Bubs. You okay? What's going on? You're hiccuping? You okay? Keeks is a good looking dog, there's no doubt. You heard me say his name. Kiko, you're good looking. Yeah. Kiko's a good looking puppy. It's funny though that everybody thinks he's a girl because he's so pretty. Like when I just meet people out and about, like walking him, whatever, everybody always immediately goes, "Oh, what's her name?" or "How old is she?" Yeah, I should play GeoGuessr with my dad. That'll be fun. I gotta remember to do that. He needs a haircut though. So they misgender your dog all the time. I'm like, actually, his name is... No, I don't care. I don't give a crap. And I don't think he cares either. Keeks, do you care that people call you a girl? He doesn't seem to care. Does Kiko have a favorite human? I hope it's me. Who would be the most qualified actor, in your opinion, to run for president? I don't think any of them are qualified to be president. I mean, maybe Arnold. At least he has some governing experience, but he can't even run. I'm sure there's other actors who have become politicians. I mean, I'm sure that's a pretty common career path, right? Well, Reagan, obviously, but I think he meant like what current like live actors, current actors. Sam is being speciesist. What does that mean? Al Pacino. Charlie Sheen. Wow, that would be crazy. Robert Redford. Brad Pitt. Nah, none of these guys. Denzel Washington, that'd be interesting. Martin Sheen. He was already president, wasn't he? Morgan Freeman. The Rock. Robert Redford died? No, he didn't. Did he? He's not dead. '89. Chill. Who said that? Everett, chill, bro. You're gonna scare people. Hello, culinary guy. All right, Julia. Well, Julia Louis-Dreyfus did become president on TV eventually. She started as VP, but didn't she become president? Like in Veep, she eventually becomes president. Confuse him with Paul Newman. Yes, Paul Newman is dead. Yes, but Robert Redford is not. Shout out to Paul Newman though. I used to love his salad, his like light Caesar and his Italian dressings, man. I used to love those. Thanks for spoiling Veep. Oops. Top 3 actors now or of all time? Because that's a different list. My favorite all time or my favorite now? Newman's on dressing, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Both? All right, my top actors right now are Leo, Brad Pitt, Michael Fassbender. Top 3 actresses right now are Margot Robbie, Greta Gerwig, Saoirse Ronan. My top 3 actors of all time are Jimmy Stewart, Alain Delon, and who's my 3rd of all time? Maybe Leo. Top 3 actresses of all time. That's a tough one. Sally Fields. Julia Roberts. Meryl Streep. And Meryl could go in now, too, actually. Meryl can be all-time and now favorites. Are you agreeing with me, Origins and Tall Tales, or you're just repeating my picks? I like Colin Farrell, but he's not one of my favorites, personally. Oh, you're just repeating, okay. She used to get rejected based on her looks, Meryl, that is. Well, shout out to her, because she's definitely come up big time since then. Okay. Oh, De Niro, Washington, Hanks, all. Who did I say my all-time was? Thanks for this is helpful for Origin Tall Tales. I might put De Niro over Leo all-time. James Stewart, Alain Delon. I don't know. De Niro, DiCaprio, I could interchange. Hanks, I could also interchange that third spot with him. I'm looking at the list now. Christian Bale is up there. Dustin Hoffman is up there for me. Michael Caine is up there for me. I think I'm sticking with my picks, though. Best actresses. I like Bryan Cranston. I don't know if he's on my top 3 all-time list, though. Oh, Cate Blanchett. Definitely up there for me. Kate Winslet also up there for me. Judi Dench also up there for me. Julie Andrews also up there for me. Hilary Swank up there for me. Anne Hathaway up there for me. Just to name a few. Anthony Hopkins, that's a good one. Beth. Viola Davis up there for me. This is, I don't know who made this list, but the 50 greatest actresses of all time. The ultimate list. Meryl Streep, Katharine Hepburn, Ingrid Bergman, Bette Davis. I don't know a lot about these more old-time actresses, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. Ingrid Bergman, I love Casablanca. I know she was in a lot of, who's that Swedish director? Oh, maybe I'm confusing her with someone else. Like, I don't really know these other movies. Gaslight or Notorious or Spellbound. I haven't seen any of these. I like Emma Stone. I do like Emma Stone. I love the movie Doubt. Oh yeah, Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando's up there for me too. Yeah, a lot of these are old time actresses I'm not as familiar with. This is a weird list. I don't know. It's not my list for sure. Judi Dench. I think I said that. Sally Fields. Kathy Bates is pretty good, but I like Barbara Streisand. I said Kate. This is a strange list. I like Sigourney Weaver. You know what I want to say? I'm not the biggest fan of Frances McDormand. I don't really know why. I like Nicole Kidman. I said Hilary Swank. I said Viola. I said Julia. Natalie Portman, I don't know. Doesn't do a lot for me. Joan Crawford. I do like Joan Crawford. Here's another ultimate list. Yeah, it's hard to deny Jack Nicholson is up there. Marlon Brando's up there. De Niro. I've never been the biggest Al Pacino fan, I'm not going to lie. Also, like, I respect the hell out of Daniel Day-Lewis, but, like, The only movie of his that like blows me away is like that I love is There Will Be Blood. Oh, I like Melissa McCarthy. I do like Melissa McCarthy too. Dustin Hoffman is up there for me. Tom Hanks is up there for me. Anthony Hopkins. I haven't seen a ton of Paul Newman movies. Denzel's up there. Again, a lot of these like really old actors I don't know very well. Michael Caine, I think I said him. James Stewart, I said him. Robin Williams, he's definitely up there for me. What's this, white people list? I mean, look, there's no doubt that American Hollywood has been dominated by white people for a long time. Just kind of is what it is. I mean, it's not like it needs to change, but that, historically. I don't know much about Robert Duvall. Sean Penn's never really done anything for me. I love Morgan Freeman. I like Jeff Bridges. Don't know a lot about Sidney Poitier. I don't even know who this is. I like Clint Eastwood. I like Gene Hackman. Charlie Chaplin. I mean, I don't really care. Whenever I see Philip Seymour Hoffman, I'm like, that's a good actor. But I don't really, I don't know. Leo being 28 is kind of crazy. Russell Crowe, I like Russell Crowe. I mean, Kevin Spacey, we'll skip that. I like Gregory Peck. I like Anya Taylor-Joy. I love Little Rascals. That was like one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know he's problematic, but I do like John Wayne as an actor. I like Chris Plummer. Tommy Lee Jones is whatever. Sean Connery, whatever. Christopher Walken is hit or miss. Guys, Beth is entitled to her opinion, okay? Oh, I do love some Joe Pesci. He's a little bit of a... I don't know why can't I think of the word. He's a little bit of like a one role actor, but man, he's good at doing those roles. You know what I mean? I like Ian McKellen. I like Javier Bardem. I like Christoph Waltz a lot. Again, a guy who sort of plays the same guy over and over again, but damn, he does it well. Johnny Depp, I like. I wouldn't put him in my favorites, but I definitely like him. Joaquin Phoenix and Jamie Foxx, I don't know. They don't do a lot for me. Matthew McConaughey is tough. Because, at least at this part in his career, and maybe he's just doing too much commercials, he feels like a caricature of himself. But there's no doubt he has some really good performances. Dallas Buyers Club, True Detective, Dazed and Confused. Mud, I like that movie a lot too. Christian Bale is top notch for me. He's probably in my top 7. Gary Oldman I like. Ed Norton I like. Brad Pitt I like. Tom Cruise is tough for me. Again, he's kind of a guy that seems to almost be playing like a caricature. No, that some of his movies I just really don't like. Like I really don't like Top Gun. I really don't like those movies. But like Jerry Maguire, Born on the 4th of July. I mean, you can't deny. Born on the 4th of July is an incredible performance. I love Matt Damon. Hugh Jackman, I could take or leave. Robert Downey Jr., nothing. Liam Kisman, Mel Gibson. Harrison Ford, I love. Skip him. Steve McQueen, I love. Now he maybe should have been on maybe one of my top lists. Robert Redford, obviously. I haven't seen a ton of James Dean, to be honest with you. Honestly, I also like Ben Affleck. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do like Ben Affleck. I know some people hate on him, but love Bill Murray, love Samuel L. Jackson. Jim Carrey is hit or miss. I like Don Cheadle. I like Martin Sheen. I like Alan Rickman, R.I.P. Now Will Smith. Now this is a Reign of Fire equals Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey. I don't think I've seen it. Will Smith. Now this guy has turned into quite an enigma, hasn't he? I mean, some of his performances are really good, and he's produced some really good blockbusters too. But some of this stuff is dog duty. John Goodman, meh. There you go. There's a top 100 according to I don't know who. Whoever made this list, I guess. Let's do it. Let's do a Will Smith poll. Are you a fan of Will Smith? Yes or no? Excuse me. There's also, I mean, these are also mostly American actors. There's definitely more great actors who are more internationally based. I'm trying to think of, whoa, what the heck? Okay. Oh, in this movie, this is my favorite films list, so I'm just going through it and seeing, like, are there any actors in here that are slept on? Who's the actor in this? I forgot his name. Can you see who's in these movies? Oh, Vincent Cassel. This guy. Very good actor. In Black Swan as well. And the Ocean's movies. French guy. This guy. French actor. Angiolino Ventura. Lino Ventura, they call him, I guess. In the movie for this guy, Tony Leung, I think he's from Hong Kong, also a very good actor. This is Julie Andrews, right? Christopher Plummer. Oh, the samurai, that's Alain Delon. Oh, someone who wasn't on any of those lists, who is an American actor, Adrian Brody, who I think deserves some respect. Robin Williams, Matt Damon, we talked about them. The Departed has all these guys. Leo, Matt, Nicholson, Wahlberg. I actually like Wahlberg as an actor overall. Oh, two Mexican actors who are great: Diego Luna and Bernal. Two Mexican actors who are very good. Yeah, those lists are okay, but yeah, they really ignore a lot of great international actors for sure. For shizzle. Moonstruck. Don't forget about Cher. Maybe she hasn't been in enough, but in terms of movies, but she was in Mamma Mia, The Player. She was in Zookeeper, guys, okay? John Bernal, or no, you're saying you love Bernal, the Mexican actor, but John Bernal, I think is his name, is also up there. I like Rachel McAdams. I do. I'm not going to try to hide it. Oh, I feel like Uma Thurman should be up there for actresses. I like Uma Thurman. Bruce Willis, John Travolta. Oh, Sharon Stone. I forgot about Sharon Stone. Very good actress. John Berthal, yeah, that's who I was thinking, but also a good actress. Oh, this guy's a really good actor. David Thewlis, I think is his name. Yeah, this guy. He's in a lot of the Harry Potters, but a very good actor. British guy. I like Clive Owen. I do. Oh, you know, maybe this is controversial because he's had I've heard he's had issues, but I really like Casey Affleck as an actor. Is this list shareable? I believe so. Here. Yeah, I feel like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was just kind of the end of him. You know what I mean? I forgot about Amy Adams too. Amy Adams has some good performances. Jake Gyllenhaal, I've just never been able to get into. I don't know why, but great Czech actor. He's also a director. Oh, Jerzy Menzel, great Czech director and actor. Jim Carrey, I'm sort of hit or miss on. It's the Will Smith pulls 50-50 right now. Wow. So I think only I can post clickable links, unfortunately, in the chat. Joan Crawford. I like Joan Crawford. Oh, I already said Joan Crawford, didn't I? I like Emily Blunt. Although I don't know if she's been in enough to be like she was in Oppenheimer. She was good in Oppenheimer. Quiet Place, Sicario. Okay, maybe she's getting there. The Mary Poppins remake. I don't know about that though. Have you seen Stargate or Arrival? I have seen Arrival. I love Arrival. I haven't seen Stargate. Ever seen Rubber? I've never seen that. James McAvoy. I've never really gotten into the James McAvoy. What's his name? Jeremy Renner, I actually like as an actor. I do like Jeremy Renner. I don't know if I put him on any, like best actors list, but how can we forget Michelle Yeoh? Michelle Yeoh is up there for me for sure. Watch Stargate. What is Stargate? It's got a 54%. Koji Yakusho, very good actor. Babel, Tokyo Sonata, I like a lot. Perfect Days. Getting to be the magic hour now? What's the magic hour? Now here's a question. ScarJo. I definitely like Scarlett Johansson. Has she been in enough? Her, I like a lot. Jojo Rabbit, I like a lot. Lost in Translation, I like a lot. Marriage Story, I like a lot. All right, I think she's in. I think she's in. Nanny Diaries. I mean, how can you not love that? You know what I mean? I've never seen it. I'm just kidding. All right, ScarJo's in. Daniel Craig. This cast of Little Women I all like. I like Saoirse Ronan. I like Emma Watson. I like Florence Pugh. I like Laura Dern. Oh, Jesse Eisenberg I like a lot. Jeff Daniels is kind of hit or miss. Laura Linney, I don't know. She's sort of. Oh, we're forgetting one of the greats right now. I totally forgot. Cillian Murphy. This dude is in terms of current working actors, definitely top 5 for sure. I mean, Oppenheimer, The Dark Knight, Inception, Dunkirk, 28 Days Later, The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Definitely one of the better working actors right now. Toshiro Mifune, great Japanese actor. I'm not sure I know who that is. Pronounced Killian. Oh, Cillian Murphy, not Cillian Murphy. I have not watched Interstellar. No. Who's the main actress in this? Annette Bening. I like Annette Bening. Definitely like Annette Bening. Oh, Michelle Williams. Also like Michelle Williams a lot. What I saw from Heath Ledger, I've also really liked. I do like some Owen Wilson. I do like myself some Owen Wilson. I can't deny that. Oh, also one of the great Robert Mitchum, one of the great old-timey actors. Steve Martin I like a lot. Oh, Gene Wilder is definitely up there. Now Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. Meh. Meh. Both of these guys I like. Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. Oh, we forgot another top-notch working actor of today, Paul Giamatti. You know, I haven't seen a ton of Mel Brooks stuff. Another one of my favorite actors is, I forgot Setsuko Hara, in a lot of Yasuhiro Ozu films. And this guy, Chisu Ryo, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but two people like in a lot of Yasuhiro Ozu films that I really like. Have I watched much Kurosawa? I have watched quite a bit. I mean, this is one of his films in my top 5. I think I have another one of his films in here. Seven Samurai. Let's see. What have I seen of his? I know I've seen Ran. I don't know if I've ever if I ever finished it. Let's see. I think I've seen Rashomon. I've seen Ikiru. I've seen Seven Samurai. I think I've seen Yojimbo. I think I've seen Ran. I've seen Dreams. So how many was that? I don't remember. Film curator is my calling. Are there jobs in that? I'm not sure. Oh, what's the Will? Oh, 59% say they don't like Will Smith. Interesting. Have you ever watched movies on live stream but mirror the movie? Nah, that doesn't seem right. Especially as a person who has made films, like to kind of pirate someone else's film doesn't seem right. I thought that Seven Samurai inspired Star Wars. It's Hidden Fortress. When I was a kid, did I watch a lot of Godzilla flicks? I don't think I've ever seen a Godzilla in my life. I'll be honest with you. Wait, hold on a second. Axel Moreno says, I've never heard of Will Smith. You've never heard of Will Smith. That's tough, I feel like, to have never heard of Will Smith. You're in the minority, I feel like. That's wild. We have someone in the chat who's never heard of Will Smith. You're probably the only one, I would assume, in the chat who's never heard of Will Smith. He's probably I feel like one of the most recognizable, probably people in America. I would think. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, exactly. Like, because he started as a rapper, you know, and then he moved to TV, and then he became a movie star, and now he's sort of just like a. Then he became just sort of a pop culture figure, and then he slapped Chris Rock, and that was all. Like, you've never heard of Will Smith? Like Chris Rock, like even if you've never seen any of his movies, you must have heard the reports of him slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars. I mean, that was like big international news that people still talk about. Okay, now Axel's claiming he does know who Will Smith is. I'm from America, but there's so many people to keep track of. I mean, I get that. But to go your whole life with it never even hearing about Will Smith seems... Smith slapping Chris Rock showed he had a little balls. I don't think so. That doesn't take balls. That takes cuckoo. All right, folks. Been a long post show. I appreciate you all being here, chatting, chilling, hanging out. It's been a nice evening. Take care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of yourself. Did I already say that? I think so. Peace.